The Clockmaker's Secret. Hugo's workshop smelled of wood, oil, and time itself as the rhythmic ticking of clocks filled the air in a comforting symphony. Every clock in the shop had a story, intricately designed by Hugo, whose hands were as steady as the mechanisms he crafted. Sophie's sharp eyes and quick fingers were invaluable to Hugo as she learned the delicate art of clockmaking under his watchful gaze. One particular clock, an ornate grandfather piece, had always intrigued Sophie with its mysterious extra gears and hidden compartments. Dex, the city detective, often visited Hugo, drawn by the complex beauty of the timepieces and their maker's dedication to perfection. Rumors of strange thefts began to swirl around the city, each crime somehow linked to places Hugo's clocks adorned. A nobleman's silverware, an artist's masterpiece, and a jeweler's diamonds, each item vanished without a trace, baffling the authorities. Dex noticed the pattern and came to Hugo, seeking his insight into the mysterious disappearances and their connection to the clocks. Hugo, concerned, inspected the clocks that had been present at the crime scenes, finding nothing amiss on the surface. But Sophie's curiosity was piqued, and she began examining the gears and compartments more closely, sensing something hidden. It was then that one of the grandfather clocks in Hugo's shop went missing, a theft within the very place where time was kept. The missing clock deepened the mystery, leading Dex to suspect that someone had found a way to use the timepieces for their own gain. Hugo was distraught, not just for the loss of his creation, but for the fear that it was being used for something sinister. Sophie discovered a hidden compartment within one of the clocks still in the shop, containing a tiny slip of paper with a cryptic symbol. The symbol matched one found at the site of the latest theft, confirming that the clocks were indeed part of a larger scheme. Dex pieced together that each clock's internal mechanisms had been altered to serve as secret hiding places for stolen goods. Hugo felt a mixture of pride and horror, knowing his craftsmanship was being exploited for such a nefarious purpose. The missing clock had been part of a special collection designed by Hugo, each piece more complex and unique than the last. Sophie suggested they study the blueprints of the missing clock, hoping to find clues to its whereabouts and the thief's identity. As they pored over the designs, Hugo noticed a particular gear that wasn't part of the original blueprint, an addition made without his knowledge. Dex believed this gear might be a key to understanding how the thief operated, and they decided to investigate further. The investigation led them to a wealthy collector who had recently acquired one of Hugo's clocks, only to find it had been tampered with. Inside the clock, they found another hidden compartment, this one empty, but bearing signs of recent use, indicating something had been stored there. Dex suspected the thief was using the clocks as temporary vaults, hiding stolen items before moving them to a more secure location. Hugo's mind raced, trying to remember if any of his other clocks had been altered in similar ways, and where they might now be. Sophie's keen eye caught something in the blueprints, an alignment of gears that seemed to form a map when viewed from the right angle. The map pointed to various locations across the city, places where the thefts had occurred, revealing a clear pattern of movement. They realized the thief was moving the stolen goods from one clock to another, using Hugo's intricate designs as an unwitting accomplice. With this knowledge, Dex planned a sting operation, placing a tracker inside a clock they knew the thief would target next. The plan worked, and the tracker led them to a hidden warehouse on the outskirts of the city, filled with stolen items. Among the items was the missing grandfather clock, its mechanisms stripped bare, revealing the secrets it had once concealed. As they examined the warehouse, Hugo spotted another of his clocks, one that hadn't been reported missing, now serving a criminal purpose. The discovery confirmed that the thief was someone with deep knowledge of Hugo's work, someone who could alter the designs without detection. Dex set a trap, leaving the clock in the warehouse untouched, knowing the thief would return to retrieve it. As night fell, they waited in the shadows, their breath held as the warehouse door creaked open and a figure slipped inside. The thief moved swiftly, their hands as practiced as Hugo's, dismantling the clock's hidden compartment with ease. But before they could remove the stolen goods, Dex and his team sprang from their hiding places, catching the thief red-handed. To Hugo's shock, the thief was Roderick, a former apprentice who had once worked alongside him, learning the art of clockmaking. Roderick had used his knowledge to alter the clocks, turning them into tools for his elaborate heists, all while hiding in plain sight. Sophie's heart sank, knowing how much Hugo had trusted Roderick, only to be betrayed by someone who shared his passion. Roderick confessed that he had seen the potential in Hugo's designs, not just for beauty, but for concealment and deception. He had begun his criminal enterprise after leaving Hugo's shop, using the clocks to move stolen items across the city without suspicion. Dex recovered the stolen goods, each item carefully catalogued and ready to be returned to its rightful owner, thanks to Hugo's ingenuity. The city was abuzz with the news of the thief's capture, and Hugo's reputation as a master clockmaker was restored. Hugo's shop became even more popular, with people marveling at the complexity of his designs, now aware of the secrets they could hold. Sophie continued her apprenticeship, her respect for Hugo only deepened by the ordeal they had endured together. Dex, now a regular visitor, enjoyed discussing new clock designs with Hugo, appreciating the blend of artistry and precision. Hugo couldn't help but smile as he crafted his next masterpiece, knowing that every gear, every spring, held a story waiting to be told. And though the clocks in his shop would never again be used for crime, they remained a testament to the brilliance of the clockmaker's craft. The city was safe, the stolen goods returned, and the clocks continued their steady ticking, marking the passage of time with unwavering precision. Roderick was sentenced to prison, his knowledge of clockmaking now a cautionary tale of how even the finest crafts can be misused. Hugo visited Roderick once, hoping to understand what had driven his former apprentice to such lengths, but found no answers. The clocks Roderick had altered were dismantled, their parts used to create new, more secure designs that would never be tampered with again. Sophie suggested they create a special exhibit in the shop, showcasing the history of the clocks and their role in the mystery. The exhibit drew visitors from far and wide, each person fascinated by the intricate details and the story behind the clocks. As the clocks ticked on, Hugo knew that his shop was more than just a place to buy timepieces, it was a place where stories were born. The clocks, once tools of crime, now stood as symbols of the delicate balance between craftsmanship and morality. Hugo and Sophie continued their work, knowing that every clock they built would carry with it the legacy of the clockmaker's secret. And so, the clockmaker's shop remained a beacon of mystery and mastery, where time was more than just hours and minutes, it was an intricate tale.